pre-release for Avatar is this weekend. So that means we get our hands on the product a little early, thanks to our friends at Superscripts here. So we're going to start without further ado. I'm going to rip open this Play Booster box, and we are going to hope for some insane pulls. I have been told before I started this that the pull rates on these packs are pretty low. So we're going to hope for seeing better luck with these guys here.
But before we go any further, I want to say a quick thank you to Superscripts Comics and Games for allowing me to open these boxes for their store stock. And if you see anything that you like inside of these boxes that we are opening, be sure to head down to the description, go over to their TCG store, and pick them up from there. But be warned, they won't ship until official release. With that, let's get back to the boxes.
What are we hoping for? What is everyone hoping for from this set, right? I only want Fire Lord Azula in the fancy black and white. I don't know what that's called. A scene card? There's so many versions that I don't know if it's a showcase or a scene at this point. But let's just get into this. We're going to see Treetop Freedom Fighters, Dali, Forecasting, Fortune Teller, Sandbender Storm, Rumble Arena, Bender Skin. This is probably going to see some commander play. Untapping this during each player's untap step. Each other player, I'm sorry. So not yourself. But adding 1 mana to your mana pool at the beginning of other people's turns is pretty effective. Especially for 3 mana. It's a good effect. Messenger Hawk. Sokka's Haiku. Earth Kingdom Protectors. Suki. Fatal Fissure. Foggy Vision. Swamp Visions. It's going to be our first rare. Additional cost to cast. Waterbend X. Exile X target creature cards from your graveyards. For each creature a card exiled this way, create a token copy that's a copy of it. At the beginning of your next end step, sacrifice these tokens. That would be really good for a haste effect. You know, just flood out the battlefield with some cool tokens from your graveyard and just get some additional value out of it. But for 3 mana and without a haste effect, it's an okay rare. That's kind of how I feel about it. We do get our first foil. It's going to be Treetop Freedom Fighters again. So let's hope for something a little bit more spicy in this pack. I will say these packs very thin. Octopus form, I do like these. So the 1 mana instant lessons that are coming from this set are pretty effective. Octopus form is probably on the lower end of the 5, but still a pretty good effect. You get to put a +1/+, or you get +1/+1 on your creature and hexproof until end of turn. Plus you get to untap it. Meaning you get a surprise blocker for limited and stuff like that has a little bit more of a butt, and you can take some stuff out, protect yourself, and prevent any other targeted removal from it as well. Glider Kits, Turtle Duck. We do like some turtle ducks. And I do like seeing high-costed activation abilities. I do like my Agatha deck, so looking for cards like this, 1 mana 0/4, and again, base power 4 with trample for 3 mana, meaning I can activate for that for 1 mana. It's a pretty good ability. Lightning Strike, Beetle-Headed Merchants, Cat Owl, Merchant of the Many Hats, Tolls of War. It's going to be an enchantment. This looks interesting. This is kind of like the Gruul one. I forget the name of it, but when this enchantment enters, create this clue token. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent during your turn, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. This ability triggers once each turn. That's pretty good to make some bodies. Iroh's Demonstration. Oh, those are uncommons. Accumulate Wisdom. He is probably one of my favorite characters from this series. He was really cool. I really liked the whole Sandbender arc where they were stuck in the library. But I will say, we're getting a little crazy with these card advantage blue cards at the past few sets. We got Aether Drift, then we got the one from Warp. And now we have this one. So let's slow down on these card advantage cards coming in hot. Seismic Sense. And then Phoenix Fleet Ship. You can do some fun things with this card. It's a mythic. It's an artifact vehicle flying at the beginning of your end step. If you sacrifice a permanent this turn, create a token copy of this vehicle. As long as there are 8 or more permanents named Phoenix Fleet Airship, this vehicle is an artifact creature in addition. So if you get a bunch of these out into the battlefield, you just have a massive flying 4/4 fleet ships. right? Very thematic because I'm pretty sure there's 8 ships in the attack with Odai. So that's cool to see. That's a fun vehicle. Also, it's only crew 1. So for 4 mana, 4/4 crew 1, you're definitely going to be able to activate that pretty regularly. First copy of Azula, but it's not the Azula we want to see. It's not the Fire Lord, unfortunately. Still a good looking card. And it's good. It's a pretty good foil, I would say. Cracking on into pack number 3. I have a feeling we'll be rambling a lot about this set. I do really enjoy the Avatar set, so prepare for random lore tidbits. Badger Mole, not the Badger Mole we want to see, but fun little earthbending guy. UN Archers, Dali again, Octopus Form again, Glider Kids again, How to Start a Riot, Kyoshi Fanblade, Hey Bay. This could be a fun commander if we get some additional support for +1/+1 counters and moving stuff like that. It just needs an additional support, but it has the possibility of being a pretty fun commander in the future. Definitely one I'm keeping an eye on. I have a semi-deck list started for it, but we'll see. Honest Work, Ruinous Waterbending, Water Balloon. I don't know how to say that. Selfless Commander. Vigilance, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast ally spells from the top of your library, and you can sacrifice this card. Creatures get +0/+5 and get indestructible until end of turn. So you're just giving everything big butts. That looks fun. Kyoshi Fanblade for a foil. And there's our additional uncommon land. Fun stuff. Man, these packs are thin. And they also have multiple tears in the top. First time flyer. Airbending Lesson. Pillar Launch. This is also going to be another one of those 1 mana instant spells coming from this set. It's probably the lowest one, probably. Pillar Launch, untap it, reach. Pretty good. +2/+2. Fire Nation Cadets, Swamp Snare Trap, Otter Penguin, Earth Kingdom Soldier, Garou Pathic. I think. I don't know too much about him. Appa Loyal Sky Bison, Fire Navy Trebuchet, Dragonfly Swarm, and we got the Great Divide Guide. This guy will probably see a lot of play in multicolored decks. Each land and ally gains add 1 mana of any color. So this is pretty much a Chromatic Lantern on a guy for 2/3. Probably pretty easily removed, but for quick fixing of your mana to get things out for maybe a turn or two, it's probably a solid choice. And then White Lotus Reinforcements is going to be our foil for the turn. Oh, and there we go. I think that's our first full art land that it is. And we have the Plains Appa. Cool card. Cool land. Probably collect all 5 versions of it just to have them from the set, but we shall see. Flexible Waterbending, Path to Redemption, Saber-Tooth Moose Lion, Boomy Bash, Foggy Swamp Hunters again, Vindictive Warden, Zuko's Exile. This looks like a fun card as well. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment its controller creates a clue. It's 5 colorless mana, so it can go on a lot of decks, but the only downside to it is it's really expensive. But it's a nice blanket exile effect for multiple types, and it'll do great in limited. White Lotus Reinforcements again, Energy Bending. Lands you control gain all basic land types until end of turn. Draw a card. 2 mana, everything taps for the color. You fix your lands for the turn. And you can do it at instant speed, meaning you can do it on other people's turns if you need to activate a woo break ability or something. Pretty cool. I like this card a lot. Epic Downfall. Bitterwork. This is the card I was thinking of when we were talking about the Orzhov enchantment. This one I really like. I also really like Exhaust, so I like to see it on this card. You get a draw effect from your power 4 or greater, so you get like a Garruk's Uprising or something like that effect on it. Plus, if you get a board or hit with a board wipe, you can activate your Earthbending, bring another creature out. Elemental Teachings is going to be our rare. You search for some lands, it looks like. An opponent chooses 2 of them, put the chosen cards in your graveyard, and the rest enter tapped. So 5 mana instant search for 4 lands, meaning you could probably do some sort of combo piece with this in the future to grab lands you want to Earthbend with, or other, commander shenanigans. So we shall see. I'm sure somebody will do something weird with that card. And Porcupine is going to be the foil with no fancy lands for now. Pause there for a second. My brain had a buffer. Geyser Leap, Troop, Rabbit Troop, Ostrich Horse, Rough Rhino Cavalry, Corrupt Court Official, First Time Flyer, another Water Skin, like to see that. Earth Kingdom General, Hebe, Honest Work, Ruinous Waterbending, Ba Sing Se is going to be another rare. And this is going to be the Earthbending rare. So you can activate it, Earthbend 2. So you get to make a bunch of creatures, right? 3 mana, make it 2/2. Honestly, pretty good value, especially because that land comes back. I have no complaints about that card. And then Ruinous Captives is going to be the foil with nothing fancy in the back. No fancy lands. We're getting some pretty good playable cards. I like to see a little bit more mythics, but we shall see. We're pretty much still at the start of the box, honestly. But we're moving along. UN Archers, Beetlehead, Octopus Form, Curious Farm Animals, Rausch's Audience, Aang's Journey, Earth Rumble Wrestlers, Fancy Footwork. These cards are tongue twisters. That's my opinion. Northern Air Temple, Air Nomad Legacy, The Boulder, Ready to Rumble. Avatar's Wrath. Okay, this is also a very solid rare that we're getting. It's essentially a board wipe that allows you to bring back your creatures for 2 mana. So choose up to 1 target creature, then airbend all others until your next turn. Your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. So meaning that everything that gets airbended can't come back on their next turn, right? So it at least shuts down the board for 1 turn cycle from what's airbended out. And you can only cast this once, so you have to exile it after use, right? Very solid card. Nice little board wipe for games. Semi-board wipe, I should say, because things can still come back. There's a foil, Razor Rings. But yeah, I like the card. I like the concept of that card. It also allows cards that care about casting things from other than your hand to re-trigger effects, like Kellen the Kid. I have that deck, and I like it a lot. Probably going in that deck. Origin of Metal Bending, Cunning Maneuver, Sold Out, Iguana Parrot, Compassionate Healer, Earth Village Ruffians, Aang's Journey again, Professor Say, he just wants to read books, leave him alone. I like this guy a lot. Ape Goat. Is he really an ape goat? Is that what he is in the show? Guess I never really thought about that. Ember Island Production, Fire Nation Engineer, and then Yue, the Moon Spirit. 1 bending 5. You may cast non-creature spells from your hand without paying its mana cost. That's a fairly solid mono blue creature there. Fairly solid. Waterbending Lesson, and then another full art. This is going to be the turtle full art. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I'm really hoping for some sort of full art that we will see from the set. I really want that Firelord Azul. Like I said, I'd be happy with the Toph too. But I think everybody wants that. So it's probably going to see heavy purchases. So bear that in mind if you want that card. Beetle, Octopus Form. We're getting a lot of octopi up in this package. Curious Farm Animals, Audience, Cupine, Crawler, Cycle of Renewal, Azula on the Hunt again, Southern Air Temple, Rockalanche, Soko Strategist, and the Earth King for the rare for this pack. Oh, Farlord Zuka. So we get a double rare. Skip that one on accident. You're going to make a 4/4 bear, which I think is really cool. 4 mana, 2/2 with a 4/4 bear. That's a fairly good card. 6 power in total for 4 mana. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control with power 4 or greater attack, search your library for that many basic cards and put them onto the battlefield taps. So you get a 4/4 creature, a 2/2 creature, and you get to search lands for big creature swigging. What else is better than mono green? Firelord Azuka. Did I say Firelord Azuka? Firelord Zuko. Firebending X, where Firebending X, where X is Firelord Zuko's power. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, and whenever a permanent you control enters from exile, put a +1/+1 counter in each creature you control. That was a tongue twister for me for some reason. This looks like a really interesting card. Definitely going to take full advantage of cards like Avatar's Wrath that we just saw here, to bring things in from exile and play fun cards. So yeah, I'm liking what I've seen from this set so far. It looks very fun. I think it's well designed. I think the cards have enough flair to them that they're not like losing the story, and they're very on theme for everything. Airbending Lesson, Badger Mole, Discipline, Precision, Fire, Captain, Cat Owl, Fancy Footwork, Northern Air Temple, Air Lord. Oh, there we go. Second. Oh no, that's a rare. What am I talking about? Not second mythic. Fire Lord Azula. I can say those names correct. Firebending 2, whenever you cast a spell while Fire Lord Azula is attacking, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for it. Everybody loves this card. It's a highly talked about card. Grishtis is doing crazy things in the past few sets, and nonetheless, Fire Lord Azula is doing the exact same thing. Definitely going to see a lot of play. And then we have Tiger Seal, which I think is a fairly interesting rare. 1 mana, it comes in tapped, and we saw a lot of cards from like Dustborn that care about things being tapped. So potential combo piece right there for 1 whole mana. And then Origin of Metal Bending, and then boom. Waterbending Lesson, Curious Farm Animals, Rebuke, Treetop Fighters, Pillar Launch, Messenger Hawk, How to Start a Riot, Heartless Act, Invasion Reinforcements, Twin Blades, True Ancestry, and then Beifong's Bounty Hunters. Whenever a non-land creature you control dies, Earthbend X, where X is that creature's power. Very Gulgari. That is a very Gulgari card. You sacrifice stuff, you make creatures that big, and then you have more creatures to swing with, and then you obviously do some sort of graveyard shenanigans where you keep bringing creatures back. Fun card. Goes in a lot of decks probably. And then our foil is Patheek. I've given up on my stacks. We're just keep rares out. Everything else is just going in one pile. That's the decision I've made. I'm not going to try and sort these out. No matter what, I can't pay enough attention to keep them sorted in the first place. Airbending Lesson, Pillar Launch, Fire Nation Cadets, Swamp Snare Trap, Giant Koi, yep, Blasting Jelly, War Balloon, Earth Rumble, Master, I can't say any of these names. Jeez. White Lotus, Hideout, Day of Black Sun. Each creature with a mana value X or less loses all abilities until end of turn. Destroy those creatures. Okay. So they lose abilities and destroy those creatures. I feel like that's just flavor. Maybe I'm missing something on that card, but I feel like it's just flavor. If it's destroying those creatures, what's the point of making the abilities go away? Don't know. Turtle Duck, Lightning Strike, Beetleheaded Merchants, Waterbending Lesson, Curious Farm Animals, Wandering Musicians, Merchant of Many Hats, Earth Rumble, Master, White Lotus, Katara is going to be our rare. I almost skipped right over that. We're running through them. Katara enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token, Waterbend X. Creatures you control have base power and toughness X until end of turn. X can't be 0. Cool. So you get to bring a guy in, Earth or Waterbend, make them bigger, swing. And then, ooh, second. This is going to be our second mythic of the box. Secret of Bloodbending. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may Waterbend 10. That's a lot of things to tap. You control target target opponent during their next combat phase. If this spell's additional cost was paid, you control that player during their next turn instead. 4 mana, Waterbend 10, take control over somebody, have a field there. Boomy, King of 3 Trials. It's a cool foiling. I like that like earthbending symbol that they have on there. And then fun stuff. 2 mythics so far out of all of these packs. That is fairly low. Earthbending Lesson, Mongoose Lizard, Pirates, Flexible Waterbender, Path to Redemption, Pretending Poxbearers, Platypus Bear, Airbenders Reversal, Long Fei, Mai, Serpent of the Pass, Aang of the Crossroads. This commander, I thought about switching with my Kellen the Kid. I'm putting this in charge of the deck instead. Enters the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature card within 4 mana or less among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library. When another creature you control leaves the battlefield, transform Aang at the beginning of your next upkeep. And in the back, land creatures you control have vigilance at the beginning of combat on your turn. Earthbend 2. It's an interesting little commander. Definitely something to consider swapping for Kellen the Kid. Ooh, and we got a foil land. Look at that. Island. The Fire Nation ship in the ice. Cool. Very cool. Giant Koi. Yip. Foggy Swamp Vinebender. Disciples. Precision. Pox. Battle Fan. Ooh. Okay. Special guest. First one. It's a Coma card. Coma Cosmos Serpent for the pass guy. Can't be countered. We all want to know what Coma does, but that's some fairly cool art right there. Let's see the crossover. Put that aside. Boomerang Basics, Team Avatar, Invasion Tactics. And I spoiled that. Legend of Karuk. This is going to be our third mythic of the box. We're ramping up here. We're up to 3. I really wish this was a legendary creature enchantment. That's how I feel about it. Scry 2, then draw a card, exile, transform it, because I really want to play this guy. Whenever you cast a spell, create a 1/1 color spirit token. This token can't block or be blocked by non-spirits. Exhaust, Waterbend 20, take an extra turn. This guy would be so much fun in the command zone. That's how I feel about it. Will that ever happen? Absolutely not. It's probably a good call that they didn't make it a legendary creature. Next up is going to be our foil for the pack, Avatar Destiny. 2 mana, 2 green, enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard and is an avatar to its additional types. Each enchanted creature, or when enchanted creature dies, mill cards equal to its power. Return this card to its owner's hand and up to 1 creature card milled this way onto the battlefield under your control. So this thing is just doing work in mill decks and reanimation decks. We love to see it. 100% putting this in Slimefoot and Squee. That's where I think this fits very well. Might even pick up that version right there. Then we have a foil land. So this is a really good pack. A mythic, a rare, foil land. Here we go. Like what we want to see in every pack. Pine, Canyon Crawler, Snowballers, Razor Ring, Rebuke, Fan, Renewal, Conviction, Herbalist, Zuko, Firelord Zuko, back to back, double Zook. Spirit Water Revival. And this is the first time we've seen this rare. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may waterbend 6. Draw 2 cards. If this spell's additional cost was paid, instead shuffle your graveyard into your library, draw 7 cards, and you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Okay, so for 3 mana, tap 6 creatures. Waterbending cost, you may tap your artifacts and creatures. Okay, so you can tap artifacts too. That's cool. Tap down your Soul Ring for waterbending 6. And they have no maximum hand size. And then Spirit Glider is going to be the foil for the pack. Spirited Glider. I'm sorry, not Spirit Guide. Watery Grasp, Deserters, Sentries, Tis the Lesson, Hog Monkey, Merchant of Many Hats. Why do I feel like I saw that card in green previously? I thought that was green this entire time. I'll have to go back and look. Aang's Journey, Shattered Roots, Fire Nation Attacks, Gather the White Lotus, Zuko, Zaho, Boiling Rock Rioter, Firebending 1. Tap an untapped ally you control. Exile target card from a graveyard. Whenever this creature attacks, you may cast an ally spell from among them from the cards you own exile. Okay, that's cool. That's a fun little rare. Compassion Healer, and then boring stuff in the back. I'm hoping this pile over here has some juice in it. Has some juice. Snowballers, Ring, Rocky, Fighters, Warriors, Enchantment, Sages, Gator, Seekin, Jailer, and then, Moonslayer. This one, I think, is just funny. Non-basic lands, enter tapped. Put a Conquer counter on this guy. As long as he has a Conquer counter on him, non-basic lands are mountains. Jeez, I would have yeeted that. That's a fun card. It's funny. 2 mana. Build a commander deck around it. I want to see what somebody does. And then Opt-out Loyal Bison in the foil. And then Meditation Roots. Oh, I didn't know they were putting these in there. Dual face cards. Representation. People that don't own sleeves. It's good to see those are printed. Pillar Launch. Cadets. Trap. Koi. Yip Yip. Swamp. Musicians. Toff the Blind Bandit. River Spirits, Tundra Tank, Momo, and Ty Lee is going to be a rare. Flash Prowess. When this enters, tap up to 1 target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as you control Ty Lee. So Flash, tap something down. They don't get to untap until they take this card out. Plus it's Prowess, so it's going to be really annoying. Just like she was in the show. And then Lizard for our foil. Lizard.
Yeah.
Insert sound there. Swamp Snare Trap, Koi, Yip Yip, Vine, Attachments, Warriors, Meteor Sword, Crashing Wave, Combustion Technique, Beifongs, Bounty Hunters again. Oh, and one that we haven't seen. White Lotus Tile. This artifact enters tapped. Add X mana of any one color where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that have a creature type in common. So Typal Dex is going to like this card a lot. And that's going to be our 4th mythic of the box. Then Aang's Journey is going to be the foil for that pack. You're guaranteed a foil in every pack, so don't you worry. Okay, on to this pack. I almost said last pack, but we have like 7 more to my right, so we shall see. Rebuke, Treetop, Lives, Snowballers, Rings, Exile, Warden, Colony, Sun Warriors, Confrontation, Realm of Ko. It's going to be another rare land that we're seeing from this set. Pay 4 mana, create a 1/1 colorless spirit token. That's pretty much it. Good talk. United Battlefront, there we go, another mythic. Create X 1/1 white ally creature tokens, then put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So not typal decks, but token decks are going to love this. Dump a bunch of mana, make a bunch of creatures, make everything bigger, swing out, go big. Perfect color for that as well. Otter Penguin for the foil. 8 packs. I miscounted over there. We have quite a few. Lightning Strike, Azula, Waterbending, Kids, Duck, Archers, Exile, Warden, Paku, Uncle Iroh. I want to see the other Uncle Iroh. The Boros, Uncle Iroh. And Cave of Two Lovers, Jasmine Dragon Tea Shop. I don't think I've seen this one yet. Add colorless. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast an ally spell or activate an ability of an ally. Pay 5. Create a 1/1 ally. That seems expensive for a 1/1. But you know what? It is what it is. Better work for the foil. Full land mountain Appa land. This pack is getting in the way. Or this stack is getting in the way. Spread this out a little bit. Show off some of the crazy things we pulled. Just make it all chaotic, why don't we? There we go. For your viewing pleasure. trying to resist like ripping from the top because it just rips into the cards and I want to damage them. Lightning Strike, Lies, Lesson, Kids, Turtle Duck, Attachments, Warriors, Brainwashing, Bending Prodigy, Unlucky Cabbage, and then Tough, Hard-Headed Teacher. There has been some controversy about this card and its artwork. No comment on the matter. When Toth enters, you may discard a card. If you do, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever you cast a spell, Earthbend 1. If that spell is a lesson, put an additional +1/+1 counter on that land. So you just ETB this, bounce some, lessons to your hand, recast them, Earthbend 2, for example. Technically, Earthbend 1, then put a +1/+1 counter on it, but for shorthand, Earthbend 2. Iroh Grand Lotus. Firebending. Teamer. During your turn, each non-lesson instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost. During your turn, each lesson card in your graveyard has flashback 1. Wait a second. Flashback 1? That's crazy. Really? Flashback? Okay. That made me look at that card in a new light. I just had like an aha moment there. Full art island. Not the ship one, but that's cool. That teamer card's crazy. Flashback 1. Iroh's a Spellslinger. Barrett. Healer. And Earthbending Lesson. Didn't miss out on much. Peddlers, Fan, Musician, Sparring Dummy, Cruelty, Descent Confrontation, The Deserter, Firebending 1. That's a really cool art. I like that a lot. And then the Mechanist. Rude. I was talking pile of cards. How dare you? Fall over on my face. You just mix yourself in with the good cards. I can't believe you would do such a thing. Go away. You are relegated to the side. Stay over there. Okay. Artisan. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a clue token. Until end of turn, target artifact token you control becomes a 3/1 construct. Artifact creature with flying. That's fun. That could be a fun little mono green, mono blue. I can see colors, I promise. Little artifact addition to Urza. Notice how I said addition, not commander, because anyone builds an artifact deck is probably going to run Urza. Lost Days, Captain, Badger Mole, Yuan, Dolly, Wrestlers, Jelly, Bloodbender, Wolfbat, Leaves of the Vine, and then, we got the blue rare land. Pay 3, tap, draw a card, then discard. I don't know why I expected anything else. Good talk. South Pole Voyager. Whenever this creature or another ally you control enters, you gain 1 life. If this is the second time this ability has resolved its turn, draw a card. Make a bunch of allies, gain some life. Life gain in Standard. There is a deck that does that, and it's very annoying to play against. I speak from experience. Troop, Captives, Raider, Inspector, Daze, Ruffians, Bear, Playful Pet, Brainwashing, Bending Prodigy, Unlucky Cabbage Merchant, and then Raven Eagle is going to be the rare. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, create a clue token. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. It's a fun little rare. Giant Koi for the foil, and we're down to 4 packs. Come on, let's get another mythic. Let's break the 5. Break the rules here.
Hey, you want shawarma? Yeah, I get platter.
Quenchia, Enthusiast, Captives, Raider, Inspector, Penguin, Soldier, Rumble, Glider, Tai Li, Aang, and then Suki, Voracious Rescuer. Other creatures you control get +1/+0. Whenever another permanent you control leaves the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 white allied creature token. This ability only triggers once each turn. They're putting that ability on a lot of cards. That's unfortunate, but still could be pretty fun as like a additional ally piece. I don't think it's there enough for its own commander deck, but still fun. Earth Kingdom General for the foil, and then Swamp Appa Full Land. 3 packs to go. Good 3 packs. Let's go. Deserters, Horse, Cavalry, Official, Quentia, Zuko, Poxbearers, Swarm, Bandit, River Guide, Tundra Tank. Oh, and this is the talk of the town right now. Badger Mole Cub. This card is going to see a lot of play in a lot of formats. When this creature enters Earthbend 1, whenever you tap a creature for mana, add 1 additional green. So all of your mana dorks is just going to get an additional boost, because a lot of them fall into the green category. So tap for an additional green, and it Earthbends 1 for 2 mana. And it's non-legendary, so you're going to multiply these out. 100% going to see a lot of fun. And then we have the Fire Nation Palace. I think that's all 5. I think that's all 5 colors. Pay 2, target creature you control gains Firebending 4 until end of turn. That's going to be a pretty effective ability right there. 2 mana, you get 4 out of it whenever you attack. Put that on a really big creature. Bada boom, bada bang. Yeah, I think that's all 5. I think we saw all 5 lands. Rare lands of that type. I think there's a couple other rare lands in the set, like the White Lotus Tea Shop one, Leaper, Troop, Horse, Cavalry, Official, Hawk, 3 Trials, Twin Tutors, Combustion Man, Grain. Oh, here we go. Finally, we at least see 1 from this box. That's going to be one of the cool full art showcase. I don't know what these are called. There's so many different names for them in this set. Yue the Moon Spirit in her alternate art, I guess. Flying Vigilance, Waterbending 5. You may cast spells or non-creature spells from your hand without paying its mana cost. We saw this card already, but it's nice to see it in the cooler version. Yip is going to be the foil. I just got a stack over here. It's crazy. Okay. Last pack Magic. Can we hit something good? Swamp, Discipline, Precision, Lost Days, Captain, Poxbearers, Platypus Bear, Spirited Glider, Tai Li, Aang. I see something full RD behind this card, so I'm hoping for the best here. Earth Kingdom General, and then the Face Stealer. There we go. We did get something good. I'm quite excited about this for Commander. I definitely want to build this deck. Being able to steal all activated and triggered abilities with the last chosen card for just paying 1 life. There's so many things you can do with that mono black. 100% going to build this Commander. So good to see that in the last pack for some last pack Magic. And with that, that's unfortunately the box. I think we did pretty good. I think we did above average, because I think the other boxes did like 5 mythics per box, and this one we did 7, if my count is correct. It'd be great if I knew exactly how many it was, because I decided to do this to myself. With this Spirited Monstrous Serpent, I think that takes us to 8. So that's a pretty good box. I'm pretty happy with it. There's a lot of cool cards coming to the set, or to Magic the Gathering, from Avatar the Last Airbender, so I'm pretty excited for this set. And anything you see here you want to pick up from this amazing pile, head over to the website in the description and pick them up from Superscripts Comics and Games here in Lakewood, Ohio. See you around.